When God is about to release wealth into your life, He will not begin with the comfort. He will begin with the testing. Many people cry out for abundance, yet they are unaware that God does not entrust wealth to the unproven. God will not pour gold into a vessel that leaks, nor will He hand over divine resources to a heart that is still ruled by pride, fear, or greed. Before He blesses you with abundance, He must first test your spirit to see if you can carry it without destroying yourself. You see, the test always comes before the treasure. The pressure always comes before the promotion. The silence always comes before the sound of multiplication. There is a moment in every believer's life when God begins to strip away the illusion of control. He removes the false securities. He closes doors that you once thought were your lifeline. He allows certain people to walk away. He takes you into a season where your skills, your wisdom, and your strengths are not enough. And you begin to ask God, why? But the real question is not why. It is, what is God preparing me for? Because every test is proof that something greater is on the horizon. God is not trying to destroy you. He is preparing you for divine trust. Wealth in God's kingdom is not simply about money. It is about stewardship. God must first see that you can handle the invisible before He entrusts you with the visible. When God tests you before wealth, He observes your reaction to lack. Do you complain or do you praise Him anyway? Do you panic or do you rest in His faithfulness? God listens not to your words but to your attitude. Many say, if I had more, I would be more generous. But God says, if you are not generous now, you will not be generous later. Because generosity is not born in abundance, it is born in gratitude. When God tests you, He hides abundance behind adversity. He hides opportunity inside opposition. He hides increase behind inconvenience. Why? Because He wants to see if you can still believe when everything in front of you tells you not to. There is a wilderness before every promised land. And in that wilderness, God examines your heart. He watches what you do when nobody is watching. He observes your integrity when temptation whispers shortcuts. He looks at your discipline when no one is clapping. You see, wealth is heavy. It requires character to carry. If God were to bless you prematurely, the blessing could break you. So He purifies you. He refines you in the fire of hidden seasons. He delays the harvest not because He has forgotten you, but because He is strengthening your roots. The longer the preparation, the stronger the foundation. When you are being tested, it feels as if everything you touch falls apart. You pray, but the heavens seem silent. You work, but results seem delayed. You give, but the return seems hidden. Yet that is when God is closest to you. The silence of God is not His absence, it is His inspection. He is watching to see if you will remain faithful without the applause, if you will still sow when nothing seems to grow, if you will still thank Him when nothing seems to move. God used these moments to separate the seekers from the pretenders, the faithful from the fickle, the committed from the convenient. He must be certain that your loyalty is to Him, not to what He gives. Wealth is a sacred assignment. It is not given for self-exaltation, but for divine purpose. That is why the test is so personal, so intense, and sometimes so painful. God will expose every idol that hides within your heart. He will confront every dependence that is not Him. He will take you to a place where only your faith can feed you. You will stand at the edge of uncertainty, and it will seem like everything is collapsing, but in truth, everything false is collapsing so that everything real can rise. Some people cry when doors close, not realizing that the door was never meant to lead to destiny. God will close doors that lead to comfort, so He can open gates that lead to purpose. He will allow loss that feels unfair, because hidden in that loss is the seed of future increase. You may feel stripped, but you are being positioned. You may feel delayed, but you are being refined. Every time you choose to trust God instead of your fear, you pass a divine test. Every time you choose to honor God with a little, you prove that you can be trusted with much. The test of wealth is never about money, it is about mastery. Can you master your desires? Or will your desires master you? Can you stay humble when resources increase? Can you still depend on God when your accounts are full? Many pray for wealth, but forget that wealth magnifies whatever is inside you. If pride lives in your heart, money will multiply it. If greed hides within you, money will expose it. But if humility and gratitude dwell in you, wealth will become a weapon for divine good. That is why God delays some blessing until you are spiritually mature enough to use them correctly. There will be seasons when God takes you through financial dryness, not to punish you, but to teach you divine order. He teaches you to prioritize purpose over pleasure, mission over material, and obedience over opportunity. God will allow you to experience moments where everything that once worked stops working, just to show you that your true source is not a paycheck, not a business, not a connection. It is Him. When you understand that, you graduate from survival to stewardship. And stewardship is the gate to divine wealth. When God begins to test you, He will allow circumstances that seem unfair. People may misunderstand you. Your efforts may go unnoticed. But God is watching how you handle obscurity. If you can stay faithful in hidden places, He can trust you in high places. The reason some never see divine abundance is that they fail the test of anonymity. They crave recognition before they build a revelation. But God does not promote noise. He promotes faithfulness. When you learn to walk with God without needing validation, He will reveal you to the world without explanation. There is a sacred pattern in the way God promotes. First the test, then the trust, then the treasure. The test proves your dependence. The trust deepens your character. And the treasure manifests your obedience. You cannot skip any stage. If you try to grasp the blessing without passing the test, what you gain will slip away. But if you allow the process to shape you, what God gives will stay. Remember this, God's preparation always feels like isolation before elevation. In those testing moments, your prayers will shift. You will stop asking God, why me? And start asking, what are you teaching me? Because the test is never to expose your weakness, it is to reveal your readiness. When God tests you with the small assignments, He is measuring your ability to carry large responsibilities. He watches how you treat what seems insignificant. Do you serve with excellence even when it doesn't benefit you? Do you give with joy even when nobody sees it? Every unseen act of obedience is a deposit in your spiritual account. When the appointed time comes, God releases what has been stored up in your favor. You must also understand this. When God is testing you before wealth, He will allow you to witness others being blessed. This is not to provoke jealousy, but to purify it. Can you celebrate another's success without questioning your own timeline? Can you bless those who rise before you without resentment? This test reveals whether your heart can handle prosperity without comparison. God does not bless bitterness. He blesses faith. The moment you can genuinely rejoice in another's blessing, you signal to heaven that you are ready for your own. Many people abort their divine wealth because they interpret testing as rejection. They say, God must not care for me. But they fail to see that the silence is actually His training ground. God does not build champions in comfort. He builds them in pressure. Every giant of faith has walked through the desert of delay. They learn to trust God's plan even when their emotions could not understand it. And that is the ultimate test. Will you obey God even when His process makes no sense? You see, the longer God tests you, the greater the assignment that waits ahead. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Every tear you shed in obedience is watering the ground for your future harvest. Every disappointment is a divine redirection. Every delay is a secret investment in your spiritual maturity. God's timing is not slow, it is strategic. When He finally releases wealth into your hands, you will not only have abundance, you will have a wisdom. You will not only have a resources, you will have a revelation. And that is why the process is sacred, because it transforms what you have into who you are. When you reach the moment of divine release, you will look back and realize that what you thought was pain was protection. God was protecting you from premature exposure, from wrong alliances, from misplaced confidence. He was shielding you from the kind of success that destroys rather than builds. He was cleansing your motives, refining your focus, aligning your heart with His will. And when that alignment comes, you will no longer chase wealth. Wealth will begin to chase you because God trusts you now. So if you are in a season of a testing, do not despise it. Thank God for it. For it means He is considering you for promotion. The depth of your struggle reveals the height of your destiny. The weight of your battle reveals the size of your blessing. Every challenge is a divine classroom. Every hardship is a lesson in trust. Every closed door is a reminder that your supply comes from above. Do not measure your worth by what you have lost. Measure it by how much you have learned to depend on God. The wealth that comes from God is not only external, it is internal. It is the peace that cannot be bought, the wisdom that cannot be stolen, the confidence that cannot be shaken. And that inner wealth is what sustains the outer one. God tests you to ensure that your soul is stronger than your bank account, that your heart is deeper than your pockets, that your values are higher than your ambitions. For what use is abundance if your spirit is poor? What value is gold if gratitude is gone? God's tests are not meant to break you, they are meant to reveal you, to separate who you pretend to be from who you are called to be. When the tests come, embrace them with faith. Stand firm with gratitude. Speak words of trust when others speak of doubt, because your response determines your release. God is watching, not to condemn, but to confirm that you are ready for what you have been praying for. And when the test is complete, when you have learned to trust God in lack, when you have praised Him in silence, when you have obeyed Him without explanation, then the doors of divine wealth will open not as a surprise, but as a confirmation. You will realize that it was never about chasing the blessing. It was about becoming the kind of person who could carry it. When God begins to test you before sending wealth, He doesn't test your comfort. He tests your conviction. He doesn't test your possessions. He tests your patience. He doesn't test what you can gain. He tests what you can endure. Because true wealth is not a sudden deposit of gold or status. It is slow refining of the soul. God does not reward impatience. He rewards faith that refuses to die in the dark. If you are crying in secret, waiting for a breakthrough, understand this. The delay is not denial. It is divine development. God is shaping something in you that money could never buy. He's building the discipline that will keep you standing when wealth begins to flow. There are moments when God hides opportunities behind failure. You may lose a job, a business may collapse, or the plans you worked for years may suddenly dissolve. But that is not loss, it is repositioning. God is never subtracting. He is redirecting. He will strip away what was never yours to reveal what has always been waiting for you. Many cry when the old chapter closes, not realizing that God had to end it so He could open a greater one. Sometimes you cannot see what He's doing until you are standing in the new place He was preparing for you all along. God's test before wealth often comes through people. He will allow betrayal to expose your maturity. He will allow misunderstanding to reveal your heart. When people mistreat you, God is not showing you their weakness. He is revealing your strength. Can you stay kind when others are cruel? Can you keep your peace when others provoke you? Can you continue to walk in integrity when no one is acknowledging it? This is where many fail. They want the wealth, but they are not ready for the weight of it. For the higher God lifts you, the more grace and humility you will need to sustain it. Every test is a divine question. Can you still trust God when you do not understand Him? Can you obey without evidence? Can you continue to sow when there is no harvest in sight? Wealth requires the faith to act on unseen instruction. When God tells you to give what you need, to build what you cannot afford, or to trust when logic says it's impossible, He is not mocking you, He is preparing you. He is teaching you that obedience brings overflow, that faith brings provision, and that surrender brings security. When God begins to elevate you, He will test you with exposure. People will start noticing your gifts, your influence, your ideas, but He will watch to see if you remain humble. Pride is the enemy of divine wealth because it shifts the focus from the source to the self. God will never promote arrogance. He promotes those who recognize that everything they have is borrowed from His grace. If you can stay small in your heart while God makes you great in the world, you have passed one of the highest tests of divine trust. There will also be tests of distraction. When doors start opening, not every door is divine. Some are detours disguised as opportunities. The enemy knows he cannot stop what God has ordained, so he distracts with counterfeit success. He offers something fast, something shiny, something that looks like progress but carries no purpose. This is why discernment is part of God's testing process. Can you tell the difference between what is good and what is God? Can you walk away from something profitable if it pulls you away from peace? Wealth that costs you your connection to God is not wealth, it is a trap. When God tests you, He is not trying to find out who you are. He already knows. The test is for you to discover who you have become. Testing exposes your inner strength, reveals your hidden weakness, and prepares you for greater responsibility. You cannot conquer what you have not confronted. God will bring you face to face with your own limitations so that you may learn to lean entirely on Him. In the end, the test is never about provision, it is about perspective. If you can see God's hand in the hardship, you have already won half the battle. Many think wealth is about receiving, but in God's kingdom, wealth begins with releasing. You must release control, release fear, release resentment, release your own timing. God cannot fill what is already full. When you empty yourself of anxiety and pride, you make room for divine abundance. The wealth that God brings is drawn to humility and obedience. You cannot beg your way into divine favor. You must grow your way into it. God increases those who have learned to depend completely on Him. There is a point in every test when the pressure intensifies. That moment is not to crush you, it is to crown you. The closer you are to your breakthrough, the harder the test becomes. When it feels unbearable, that is the signal that the season of release is near. God often hides your harvest in your hardest moment. The night grows darkest right before the dawn. So when everything in you feels tired, do not retreat. Keep moving, keep trusting, keep sowing in faith, because soon the test will turn into testimony. You must also understand that the test before wealth is not only external, it happens inside your mind. God will challenge your thinking before He changes your circumstances. You cannot carry a millionaire's blessing with a beggar's mindset. You must think in alignment with the divine abundance. God tests you by allowing lack to teach you creativity, not defeat. When you are short on resources, it is because He wants to expand your imagination. He wants you to see solutions where others see scarcity. That is how you become a vessel of divine innovation. True wealth flows through mind that can think beyond the fear and act beyond the comfort. Another form of God's test comes through timing. He will make you wait, not because He is late, but because He is building endurance. Waiting is not wasted time. It is divine preparation. Many lose their blessing because they cannot handle delay. They want quick results, but quick results produce shallow roots. God wants your blessing to last, not just appear. So He stretches time to stretch your trust. When you learn to wait without complaining, when you can praise without proof, you have passed one of the hardest tests of faith. Wealth requires patience because sudden success without structure can destroy a person. God will not give you what you cannot manage. So He teaches you to organize your life while you wait. He trains you in discipline, in stewardship, in focus. Every time you plan, save, and manage your current resources wisely, you are signaling to heaven that you are ready for increase. God blesses order. He blesses those who prepare in private before He promotes them in public. There is also the test of gratitude. God watches how you respond to small blessings. If you cannot be thankful for what you have now, you will not be content with what you receive later. Gratitude attracts increase because it acknowledges the source. Every time you thank God sincerely, you multiply the energy of abundance around you. But when you complain, you repel it. Gratitude turns ordinary days into miracles. It transforms scarcity into sufficiency. It proves that your heart is ready to carry more. When God tests you, He will also test your relationship. Wealth requires wisdom in choosing who walks with you. Not everyone around you is meant to go where God is taking you. Sometimes He removes people quietly and you feel betrayed, but in truth, He is protecting you. You cannot carry divine wealth while being surrounded by those who drain your faith. God will test whether you can walk alone. If it means staying aligned with Him. He will test whether you choose peace over popularity, purpose over approval. The ability to walk alone in obedience is one of the highest qualifications for divine wealth. You must also understand that the test of wealth is the test of humility. When abundance finally begins to flow, will you remember where it came from? Will you still pray with the same urgency? Will you still give with the same passion? God's test does not end. When the wealth arrives, it begins anew. Because true wealth is sustained not by strategy, but by surrender. The same dependence that brought the blessing is what keeps it. God's testing is never to deprive you, it is to define you. He is not withholding the blessing, He is molding the vessel. If you are being stretched, it is because God sees capacity in you that you have not yet discovered. He is drawing out your hidden strength through pressure. Every challenge you face is unlocking a new dimension of endurance and faith. You are being sculpted for significance. The fire you feel now will one day be the light that guides others. When wealth finally comes, you will recognize that it was never really about the money, it was about the mission. God blesses you so that you can become a blessing. He tests you so that you can teach others how to overcome. He increases you so that you can impact generations. Divine wealth is not accumulation, it is assignment. It carries responsibility, purpose, and divine expectation. And those who pass the test before wealth are not just rich, they are trusted. So when you feel pressed, when doors close, when people walk away, do not curse the moment. Thank God for it. For He is proving your faith, sharpening your vision, purifying your motives. He is removing what is temporary to prepare you for what is eternal. The test may be hard, but it is holy. It may be painful, but it is purposeful. You may not see it now, but one day you will look back and realize that every trial was a stepping stone to your divine destiny. The greatest evidence that God is about to bless you is not comfort, it is contradiction. Everything seems opposite to what He promised. Yet deep in your spirit, there is peace. That peace is the confirmation that you are exactly where you should be. God is aligning the unseen forces in your favor. He is orchestrating events, preparing people, and designing opportunities that will unfold when the time is right. And when it happens, it will not be gradual, it will be sudden. Divine wealth comes like a flood when God has finished His testing. There comes a time when God begins to test your inner strength through silence. Silence is not absence. It is sacred examination. When God hides His voice, He is not ignoring you. He is observing you. He wants to see whether your faith depends on feelings or on conviction. It is easy to trust when the signs are clear and the doors open freely. But the real test of trust begins when there are no signs, no confirmation, no visible progress. In that silence, God is whispering through circumstance, through delay, through stillness. He's asking, will you hold on to my promise even when you hear nothing? For in silence, your spiritual ears grow sharper. In silence, your dependence on God deepens. Those who cannot stand the silence are not ready for the sound of abundance, because wealth without spiritual stability will collapse under its own weight. When God tests you, He may take away everything that made you feel secure. The people you depended on may walk away. The resources you counted on may vanish. Your plans may fall apart like sand in your hands. This is not punishment, it is purification. God removes every false support so that you may discover the solid ground of His presence. He wants you to know that your true foundation is not built on connections, credentials, or possession. It is built on faith. When you finally understand that everything else can be taken, but God remains, you have passed one of the most powerful tests of divine maturity. There will also be times when the test comes through waiting. Waiting is the furnace where faith is refined. Many people fail the test of waiting because they mistake delay for denial. But God delays only to develop. He will never give a gift before the receiver is ready. If you are asking God for something that has not yet come, do not think He has forgotten you. He is preparing you, and He is preparing what belongs to you. The moment your character and your calling align, the release will come swiftly, and you will realize that the waiting was necessary. God cannot release abundance into hands that are still learning obedience. There is another level of testing that few understand, the test of exposure. When you begin to experience small breakthroughs, small moments of success, small signs of progress, God watches to see how you handle it. Do you give glory to yourself, or do you give glory to Him? Do you become careless with the principles that once kept you disciplined? Many fall when they experience early success because they begin to think they are the source of their own prosperity. God will sometimes allow you to touch the edge of success and then pull it back just to reveal your heart. If you can remain humble even when the spotlight shines, God will trust you with true greatness. You see, the journey to divine wealth is not a straight path. It is a sacred circle of testing, trusting, and transforming. Each test purifies you. Each waiting season strengthens you. Each loss redirects you. God is not interested in temporary abundance. He is shaping eternal responsibility. That is why His tests are not meant to make you famous, but to make you faithful. He knows that one faithful soul can do more with little than 100 careless ones can do with plenty. So He teaches you to value discipline over display, patience over pressure, and wisdom over waste. God also tests you through your reactions to correction. When He shows you your flaws, do you defend them or do you change? Many cry out for increase but refuse instruction. They want abundance without accountability. Yet God blesses those who listen. He will send wisdom disguised as discomfort. He will place mentors, challenges, and even failures in your path to shape your understanding. If you can humble yourself and learn from every experience, no matter how painful, you are proving that you are teachable, and teachable hearts attract transformation. Another powerful test is the test of secrecy. Can you serve God faithfully when no one is applauding you? Can you give generously without expecting recognition? Can you pray in hidden rooms when there is no audience to admire your devotion? God often measures greatness by what happens in private. What you do unseen determines what God does for you publicly. If your motives remain pure when no one is watching, if your integrity remains intact when there is no reward in sight, then you are walking in the divine pattern that precedes promotion. Sometimes God will test your relationship with wealth by letting you taste both lack and abundance. There will be days when you have more than enough and days when you have almost nothing. This contrast is divine training. In lack, He teaches you gratitude. In abundance, He teaches you stewardship. The wise understand that both seasons are necessary. The one who learns to manage scarcity will handle plenty with humility. The one who learns to share in abundance will never fear loss again. God tests your heart through your habits. How you handle what you have now reveals how you will handle more later. The tests also come through giving. God will ask you to give something precious, not because He wants to take it, but because He wants to free you from it. What you are unwilling to release owns you. Every act of giving breaks the chain of attachment and teaches your spirit that nothing you possess is greater than the one who gave it. When God tests you through giving, He is measuring your trust. Can you trust that what you release will return multiplied? Can you believe that you will never lack when your heart remains generous? The truth is simple. God cannot pour into a closed hand. Sometimes God will even test your emotions. He will allow disappointment, delay, or misunderstanding to test your self-control. Wealth requires emotional maturity. If you are easily shaken by offense, easily discouraged by setbacks, or easily influenced by praise, you are not yet ready for the next level. God refines your emotions to make you steady. He teaches you to respond with wisdom instead of reaction, with peace instead of panic. True wealth is sustained by inner stability. A calm spirit is stronger than a full bank account because it cannot be stolen or corrupted. There will be moments when God tests your courage. He will ask you to take steps of faith that make no sense to human logic. He may tell you to leave what is familiar, to invest in something uncertain, or to walk away from something comfortable. These are not random challenges, they are divine invitations. God is saying, do you trust me enough to move when you cannot see? The wealth He gives is reserved for those who walk by faith, not fear. If you can step into the unknown with obedience, the unseen doors will open before you. Every test from God carries a hidden message. I am preparing you to be unshakable. Because when divine wealth comes, the world will test you again with flattery, temptation, and pride. Only those who have endured the fire of God's testing can withstand the storms of success. The process may seem long, but remember, gold cannot shine without fire, and faith cannot mature without trials. God refines you because He intends to display you. He perfects you in silence so that when the time comes, your light cannot be dimmed by circumstance. Some of the most painful tests are those that challenge your vision. God will show you glimpses of the future, but not the full picture. He gives you dreams that seem too large for your current resources. That is deliberate. He does not give you all the pieces because He wants you to trust Him for the missing parts. The distance between the vision and the fulfillment is the distance that builds faith. The longer the wait, the deeper the roots of your trust. When you finally arrive, you will realize that the process gave you something more valuable than the promise. It gave you divine strength. When God tests you, He is writing your story of resilience. Each trial becomes a testimony. Each loss becomes a lesson. And each delay becomes a declaration of His faithfulness. You will not only receive wealth, you will carry wisdom. You will not only gain influence, you will embody integrity. Wealth without wisdom is wasted, but wealth that has been tested through fire becomes an instrument of impact. God is raising a generation of people who will use wealth as a weapon for good, as a tool for healing, and as a channel of purpose. Do not fear the tests that stretch you. They are signs that God is near. Every time you feel pressure, it means heaven is investing in your growth. Every test you pass expands your capacity for blessing. The road may be narrow, but it leads to expansion. The burden may feel heavy, but it births strength. You may feel hidden, but hidden seasons are holy seasons where God plants the seeds of greatness that will one day shake nations. The moment you stop seeing tests as punishment and start seeing them as preparation, your entire life shifts. You no longer run from difficulty, you embrace it with faith. You no longer question the waiting, you grow in it. You no longer chase wealth, you attract it by alignment. Because wealth in God's hands is not about luxury, it is about legacy. It is not about material gain, it is about spiritual authority. God tests you to ensure that when the blessing comes, it will not control you, you will control it. So, if you are being tested right now, rejoice quietly. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. You are not being delayed, you are being developed. Every hidden sacrifice, every private prayer, every act of obedience is being recorded in the invisible realm. The day will come when what was done in silence will be rewarded in sight. God's reward may not come when you expect it, but it always comes when you are ready for it. And when it comes, you will understand why He tested you so deeply, because He intended to bless you beyond measure. And so, endure with faith. Walk through the testing with your head held high. Refuse to give up. Refuse to compromise. Refuse to doubt. For the same God who tested you in the wilderness will exalt you in the harvest. The same God who took you through lack will trust you with the abundance. The same God who hid you in silence will reveal you in light. Your testing is the bridge to your blessing. Stay steadfast. And when the day comes, you will hold in your hands the fruit of your faith, a wealth that serves God's purpose, a wealth that cannot be corrupted, and a wealth that was born through the fire of divine testing.